Hey guys, it is Carrie, the Invisible Goddess, and today we're going to learn how to thread our serger, which is a Brother 1034D. As always, the cats are with us and fighting underneath my feet. So I learned how to thread the serger yesterday. There is one tricky part. Other than that, it's actually relatively easy. I was very, very afraid of the serger before I learned how to actually thread it, and I'm going to show you what I keep doing wrong to make my threads break. Alright guys, it might actually be a little hard to see because we are backlit. Serious cat fight going on. So there, it's a Brother Lock 1034D. I got it in October for about $250. So what I keep doing, finger in the way, I keep forgetting to put this all the way up, and I end up, when I remember doing it, I've already serged a little bit, and I end up getting the thread wrapped around, not looking for it, just raising it, sewing or serging, and then I break the threads. So this is the second time I did it, but the first time I did it, I actually learned how to thread it because this comes pre-threaded, and all I did was tie my cones on and cut the threads that came with it and pull them through. So I didn't actually thread it myself, but it's pretty easy, and I'm going to show you the tricks. So first off, don't let this happen. That will make it so your thread won't come through easily anyway. So that's the first thing we have to fix, is to untangle this. And it's just as easy as pulling that off. I'm actually going to pull this thread out because we're gonna thread from the beginning. I'm gonna pull this one out also. And this one. I probably shouldn't be pulling it through this way. Ooh. But that's what we're doing. Okay, so that one doesn't actually want to come through because it's actually caught in here. So pull the thread out. Okay. Let's put you on the tripod. So this serger actually has an order in which to thread our cones, spools, whatever you want to call them. That is upper looper, lower looper, right needle, left needle. So green, blue, red, yellow. So all of these spools start the same way. The first one that we want to do is green, and that's the upper looper. So you take that thread, you pull it from the back through the hole for one, I already have that done, down to number 2, which is just a little bracket. Slide it under, you'll hear it click. You want to slide the tension release button to the right, bring the thread down through the path, then it starts getting fun. So here's our thread. It's going to be really hard to see. Turn the light off. Maybe that'll help us see. So you just want to follow the path. So we've already gone through 4. 5 is our next number, which is this little hook here. And then there's these 2 little metal brackets. Both of them have blue on it. Only one has green. So we're threading green right now. So we only want to put it through green. So that's 6. Next we do 7. And then we put it through the looper. So this little arm here has kind of like a sickle shape with a hole in it. That's where we want to put it through. I am not actually going to show that because I have to get my eyes right up on it because I'm blind. Okay, you guys can kind of see that I have got the thread through here. I just have it sitting on top of the foot. So now's where you want to grab your tweezers. Your machine probably came with one. If not, like, you can order them on Amazon. So I'm just going to grab it right behind. You can see it's coming through now, and get it out far enough so I can actually grab it with my hands. And then also, while I'm doing this, I'm moving it underneath the presser foot and just pulling through. And you'll see I had pulled a lot out, so you'll see the thread coming up here. I'm just going to grab this loop to make sure it doesn't get caught on anything, and I'm just pulling out behind the presser foot. So there we go. You can see this is the thread. It's coming through 7 right there and up through the eye of the looper. That's the easy one. Our next one is blue, which I believe is the lower looper. Again, we want to bring the thread from behind the machine through number 1, right here, like that. We want to put it through number 2, slide number 3 to the right, bring it down through here, around number 5. So I'm gonna do that. It's kind of hard because I have to I have to hold the camera to get a better angle. See if I can do it one-handed. So you want to put it through number 2. Stand up. You want it underneath here. There we go. Oh, make sure it actually gets caught. Again, I'm trying to hold the camera with one hand. So just to give me some leverage, I'm grabbing that with my pinky. So slide it underneath. You kind of heard that, right? Okay, so that's number 2. You want to slide this to the right. Again, you'd be doing this with both hands, and down through the path. I'll probably put you down now. Yeah. We're going to readjust in a minute. Okay. So you want to take your thread, loop it around number 5, out of focus. There we go. So you loop it, it comes down, and you kind of put it in between here and goes over there. We're following this blue path. So these little brackets, you want to go underneath both of them. This one you want to go over top. You can just kind of pull it out to the front. And here's what I didn't get a good look at the videos that I watch, because I got to tell you guys, the directions in the book, not so great. They don't really tell you how to do anything. So this right here, it has there's 2 blue triangles. So when are they blue? No, there's two green triangles. So you leave them together for the green, but this blue arrow at the top goes back and forth, and what you want to do is just take your nail and pull that to the right. And here's what's going to be very hard to show you. This little piece right here. So I'll get my finger out of the way. This little piece right here, go to the top, right there, this piece, and you'll be able to see it on your machine. It looks like there's a little V channel in that, and I kept trying to put it in between the V, but it really, and again, you'll be able to see it on your machine. So you don't want to put it here. You actually want to get it behind this second piece. And that's what I couldn't do when I first tried to thread it. So let's see if I can get that done. So I'm holding the thread down there with my finger. Let's see if I can get it in. Trying to be able to show you guys. Nope. See, it wants to sit in that V, and that's not where it should go. I mean, I was trying to show my friend yesterday, and I can't get a good angle on it, but it's not just this little piece. There's another piece behind it of very thin metal. You want to get it behind that piece of thin metal and seat it against the arm. I wish I could show you guys. So I'm not sure if you can see it or not. So here, here's the front piece, and then what you can't see, there's a little bit of metal right here. You can see the very top of it. You want to get it behind that so it actually sits in this little spot right there. But I kept putting it in between the two. So you want to get it behind there. I'm not going to be able to show you because I need both hands to do it, but just like get up on your machine. Really trying to show you. Get up on your machine. Do not stick it in between these two pieces. Try to get it back behind this little groove. So I'm going to come back when I have that done. All right, guys, I got it in, and oh, maybe that's it. Okay, so you can see the two pieces now. Not quite in focus. But you see that darker piece of metal? The darker piece of metal, right? Right at the tip of where my tweezers are, that darker piece of metal, you want to get it behind that and keep some tension on it, because you can see where that thread needs to go, like where it's got to be seated. And I actually have it a little too far. We want it in this little corner on the end. There we go. You can see where it's seated now, like that's where it needs to be, like right there. And you want to keep tension on it, and then you want to slide that little arm back while you have tension on it. Make sure it still stays seated in number 8. All right, y'all, we're almost done. So you see where that green thread is up on the top, and I still have tension. You know, this, I'm going to put the thread right where it needs to go. It needs to go through the eye that's right there. Again, I can't show you that because I need both hands to do it, and I have to have my face right up in it to get the thread through. Okay, y'all, so I just barely have that thread through the eye of the looper. And one of the other things that I screwed up on the first time I tried to do this you want that thread to be underneath the green thread. And basically, you can see that little tail that's hanging out because I have it through the needle. You want to grab that with your tweezers, pull it underneath that upper looper and underneath your presser foot, and then to the back of the machine. Let's see if I can set up the machine to show you what I'm doing, hopefully. All right, so I'm going to grab my tweezers. We might have to do this in a couple steps. So I'm going in and I'm grabbing with my tweezers. And I'm just gonna keep grabbing to get enough for me to grab from behind, because there's got to be enough thread there for you to grab. But you see how it's going underneath that upper looper? All right, so it looks like I have enough to grab it from behind now. And I'm pulling it far enough so I can grab it with my hands. So you can see me in the background moving that thread. And it's coming through. So you're supposed to keep tension on this. I'm trying to show you guys. So I'm going to grab this thread to keep tension on it because we want it seated right in this thing. And I'm just going to pull through. All right, y'all, so that's the hardest part. And really, the only real difficult thing is getting it seated in this arm. But when I put this arm right here, when I put the camera down, I don't think I told you, once it's seated, you slide it back and line up those two green arrows. So once it's seated, like it's easy from there. But why are you crying? The videos that I saw, like they didn't tell you exactly where to put it. And I mean, trying to film this, I know why, because you can't get a good look at it. It doesn't tell you in the instructions. It doesn't show you in the diagram. So we have our upper and lower looper threaded. Next, we just have to do our needles, which is easy. You know, they all start off the same way. So green, blue, red, yellow. So we take our red, and I'm not going to show you this part because it was too hard to do with trying to do with one hand, but you want to put it underneath here. Slide this to the right, bring it down the channel, and then back up, down the channel, up, around, and through this right-hand needle. So that's the path. And we will pick up, right about here, because that's all you're going to be able to see. But you can see with both hands, like it takes nothing to get to this point. So we have it down here. We want to go up, and around. And then we want to put it in the right-hand needle. You should have it caught behind this little piece of metal here. So that's what it looks like. And then we put it through the needle. All I needed to do was get a little closer. So it is in now. And just to make things easier, we're going to take our tweezers. I have to put my glasses back on. Just going to take our tweezers and grab from behind until we can get our hand in there. Again, this, I don't know if you guys can see, we don't want to mess up what we've already threaded, so I'm just going to take this and get it out of the way so it doesn't mess anything up. And I'm just pulling through. Now, we want everything underneath our foot, so I'm taking the tweezers and just making that happen. There we go. One more left, and that is yellow. Again, I'm not going to show you the top part because we have already done that. Through number 2, slide the tension to the right, bring it down through the disc. You can see where we are now. So this is our yellow slot. You want to bring it over to the right, up, and over 5, and then you want to put it through the left needle. I need to pull out a little bit more thread. And again, I have to get my face right up on this, so I'm not going to be able to show you how to thread the needle, but literally you take it and you put it through the eye and you pull it. Alright guys, again, I just put it through the needle just a tiny bit. You can see it, I don't want to move it too much, but it's right here. So I only put it through the needle a little bit, and I am going to grab it with my tweezers and pull. We're just pulling it enough to be able to get our hands on it, so that's good. So I want to make sure it's away from all that. I'm grabbing with my tweezers. I'll probably do it with my hands, but I don't think you want to see them. But that's what we're going to do anyway. All right. So pull, pull, pull. Make sure it's seated behind here, so both those threads are. And then, again, we have a little jumble here, and we don't want that. So I'm going to make sure that's from the front. Okay, y'all. We are all threaded. So we have all 4 of our threads behind, like underneath the foot and behind our work. You want to go ahead and pull this to the right a little bit and close it up. So to test if we've done it correctly, you go ahead and put the foot down. And then you want to turn your handle on the right a little bit towards you. Grab your threads off to the left and kind of hold them behind the foot. And then the knob on the right, this knob right here, you see the arrow goes towards you. So you want to just slowly crank that towards you. You'll see the looper come up. Hold tension on the back, and you should start making loops. You could also you know, pressure foot pedal. But we're not quite as confident as we should be at this point. Maybe you have a kitty cat that comes up to help you, because they don't believe in you either. Okay, so I did it right. So you can see back here that it is indeed making a chain. So I'm confident that we have that done right. So guys, now that I know what to look for, I don't think this is hard at all. It's kind of hard showing you, but hopefully you were able to see that little arm, because that's the trickiest part, aside from remembering to put the thread stand up. Like I've done that twice, and I've had to rethread it twice because of it. So I might put a sticker. I might put a sticker on the front of the machine that says put the thread stand up, or check your thread stand, or whatever, because I put it down and put the cover over it. It came with a cover to keep the cats from eating the thread. And then I just put it up, not paying attention to, is it wrapped, is the thread wrapped around it? So that's my problem so far with the machine, because you wrap that thread around and it can't come through, it's gonna break and you're gonna have to rethread the machine. So I think if you make sure you're paying attention to what's going on with the thread stand, you thread the machine, get it hooked behind that arm, like getting that part is the toughest thing. And then from there, you want to make sure that your blue thread is under your green thread. So it's under the green looper path. I don't know about you guys, like I'm super excited. It did take most of the day in collaboration with my friend to figure this out yesterday. It was video call, like we're in the middle of the Rona still. And she says she didn't help much, but she did. Just being moral support and helping me understand what does what and what should go where was very helpful. So shout out Emily, thank you. Kitty's trying to help us. So yeah, hopefully this has been helpful and you will be tackling your serger just like I did. I'm telling you guys that this, once you, I mean, everybody else might have their own problems, but for me, those were the two things. So for me, I really need to pay attention to how that thread is on the bar when I start to make sure that I'm not going to break it. But I'm confident if I wanted to change colors for whatever reason, that I'd be able to do that. And I honestly think, not videoing, it might take me 3 minutes to get everything. Now, let's bump it up to 5 because I can't see. And getting those eyes threaded is just visually a challenge for me. Like I have to take my glasses off and stick my face right up in there. But once I do that, I can do it relatively quickly. And I'm sure you could probably use a needle threader to help you with that if you're visually impaired like I am. So yeah, guys, I'm excited. I can't wait to bring you some serger videos. Yeah, so thanks and peace out, homies.